Logan's Run imagined a domed paradise where life is perfect until you turn 30 and the city kills you in a glittering ritual called Carousel. But its story is full of secrets fans rarely hear. Did you know the movie's shimmering city of the future is really a Dallas shopping mall? Or that the entire film was rendered obsolete by another movie less than a year after it won its Oscar? 16 facts, starting with the strangest scene they cut out. Number 16, the cut scenes. Watch the sequence in the frozen caves where Box, the robot, captures Logan and Jessica and threatens to freeze them. It ends fairly quickly in the finished film, but a surprising amount was cut from around it. And one deleted scene is gloriously bizarre. Box, obsessed with preserving beautiful things in ice, was shown creating a full nude ice sculpture of Logan and Jessica. That surreal moment was removed entirely. And it wasn't alone. Roughly 4 minutes were cut from the Love Shop orgy sequence to tame its content. An entire alternate opening was filmed, showing Logan's partner Francis catching and killing his own runner, and then dropped. There were even cut drug references in the arcade. The film you know is a trimmed, tamed version. Previews led to scenes being shortened or removed, and whole locations that were shot, like an apartment building and the Houston Hyatt's interior, ended up on the cutting room floor. The strangest, raciest Logan's Run is the one that never reached theaters. Number 15. The gleaming future city is a Dallas shopping mall. Watch Logan and Jessica walk through the arcade, the shimmering, futuristic heart of the domed city. All soaring atriums and gleaming walkways. Here's the reveal. You're looking at a 1970s shopping mall in Texas. The city's grand interiors were filmed almost entirely in and around Dallas. The vast Great Hall where citizens gather for Carousel is the Apparel Mart at the Dallas Market Center, and the production saved a reported $3 million by using these ready-made modern buildings instead of building sets. The film happened to be shot right at the dawn of America's shopping mall era, which is exactly why the future looks so distinctly, quaintly 1970s. The utopia of tomorrow was a place Texans went shopping. Number 14, the sanctuary everyone's chasing doesn't exist. Watch the entire plot drive toward one goal, Sanctuary, the fabled safe haven beyond the city where runners can live free past 30. Logan and Jessica risk everything to reach it. Here's the gut punch the whole film is built on. There is no sanctuary. It was never real. Just a rumor, a hope passed between desperate people, leading nowhere. When Logan and Jessica finally escape the dome, they find not a hidden colony, but an empty, overgrown ruin of Washington, D.C., and a single, lonely old man who has never seen another soul his whole life. The thing everyone died chasing was a myth. What they find instead is something the sheltered city dwellers have never seen. An old person, a real family, and the simple, forgotten possibility of growing old. Number 13. The old man is Peter Ustinov improvising with a room full of real cats. Watch Peter Ustinov as the old man, rambling, warm, quoting poetry, surrounded by dozens of cats in the ruins of the U.S. Senate. Almost none of it was scripted. Ustinov, a celebrated raconteur, improvised much of his dialogue, riffing freely as the last old man on Earth. He recites real verses from T.S. Eliot's Old Possum's Book of Practical Cats, the poetry collection that would later become the musical Cats. And the felines swarming the set were real cats, genuinely wrangled around him. His loose, meandering, half-remembered speech is the whole point. To Logan and Jessica, who've never met anyone over 30, this doddering, poetry-quoting old man is the most astonishing thing they've ever seen. Living proof that life doesn't have to end at 30. Number 12. Watch the life clocks in everyone's palm. It's the film's whole countdown. Look at the crystal embedded in every citizen's palm. Their life clock. It's not decoration, it's the ticking clock of the entire film. The crystal changes color as you age. It glows, then begins to blink red as you approach 30, and goes black on last day, when you must report to Carousel to die. It's a brilliant, wordless piece of design. You can read any character's remaining lifespan at a glance, just by looking at their hand. And it drives the plot's tension directly. The moment Logan's own palm crystal starts blinking red, his countdown has begun, and the hunter becomes the hunted. The film puts a visible death clock on every person's body, so dread is literally built into the flesh. Number 11. Carousel isn't rebirth. It's a mass execution everyone cheers. Watch the carousel ceremony. 30-year-olds in masks float upward into the air, drawn toward a glowing crystal at the dome's peak, while a roaring crowd chants, "Renew! Renew!" The citizens genuinely believe they're being reborn, that Carousel is a sacred chance to be reincarnated young again. Here's the horror the film reveals. It's a lie. No one is renewed. They're simply killed, vaporized in midair. And the entire society has been built on the fantasy of rebirth to make people accept their own execution willingly. The most chilling thing isn't the killing, it's that the victims cheer for it, and so does the crowd. Logan's dawning realization that Carousel is a con is the crack that brings his whole world down. Number 10. The floating deaths were the hardest effect in the film. Done on hidden wires. Watch those carousel bodies rise and spin through the air, and know the effects team considered this the single most difficult thing in the movie to pull off. The special effects artists had to make actors genuinely levitate and soar upward convincingly, using systems of hidden wires to lift and fly the performers around the vast arena. In an era before digital compositing could erase a wire in post, keeping those rigs invisible while flinging costumed actors through the air was a painstaking nightmare. The eerie, dreamlike quality of those ascending figures, the thing that makes Carousel so unforgettable, was real people on wires, and it helped win the film its Academy Award for visual effects. Number 9. Farrah Fawcett got top billing for a tiny role because of a TV haircut watch for Farrah Fawcett as Holly, a chirpy assistant in the New You cosmetic surgery shop. It's a genuinely small part, a few minutes of screen time. Yet some advertising billed the film as starring Farrah Fawcett. The reason has nothing to do with the movie. Right as Logan's Run came out, Fawcett exploded into a cultural phenomenon thanks to Charlie's Angels and a certain red swimsuit poster, becoming one of the most famous faces on the planet almost overnight. The studio scrambled to capitalize, promoting a bit part player to headline status, while the film's actual female lead, Jenny Agutter, got pushed down the marquee. It's a perfect snapshot of how fast fame moved in 1976. A minor role rebranded as the star because of a haircut. Number 8. The hero's ages are a lie the plot desperately needed. Watch Logan and Jessica as the young, doomed near-30 lovers. And know the actors were quietly cheating the premise. In the original novel, citizens are killed at 21, not 30. The filmmakers raised the death age to 30 for one blunt, practical reason. At 21, they'd be limited to hiring very young, inexperienced actors. By bumping it to 30, they could cast real stars. And they still fudged it. Michael York was actually 33 playing the almost 30 Logan, and Jenny Agutter was in her early 20s playing a 17-year-old. The entire society is obsessed with the exact age of 30, and the two leads embodying that terror were both, in reality, the wrong age for their parts. Quick pause at the life clock. If this deep dive is earning it, hit like and subscribe because we go inside a movie like this every week. Now, back to the dome. Starting with the sound that shaped the whole future. Number 7. The score mixes a full orchestra with eerie early synthesizers. Listen to Logan's Run. The way its music shifts between lush orchestral sweep and cold alien electronic tones. That was a deliberate, cutting-edge choice by the legendary composer Jerry Goldsmith, a name longtime viewers of this channel know well. Goldsmith spent 8 months crafting the score, blending a traditional orchestra with then-novel synthesizer soundscapes, using the warm strings for the human, emotional moments and the strange synth textures for the cold, computerized city. And it's the exact sonic strategy that would define science fiction scoring for years. Goldsmith was one of the most inventive film composers who ever lived, and here he's essentially painting the divide between humanity and machine in sound. Here are facts number 6 through number 1, each expanded by approximately 50 to 80 words, keeping the scene for style. Number 6. Watch the city die. The computer can't handle the truth. Watch the film's climax when Logan is captured and dragged before the city's master computer, forced to report on whether he found sanctuary. His answer, "There is no sanctuary," is something the computer simply cannot accept. The machine's entire existence is built on the logic of the system, on the assumption that runners flee to a real place. It has no framework for a truth that says the thing it's been tracking for years was always a fiction. So Logan's honest, impossible answer causes the computer to malfunction, stutter, overload, and finally tear itself apart in a violent, cascading self-destruction that takes the whole domed city down with it in a spectacular collapse of shattering glass and fire. It's a pointed, almost philosophical idea. The perfect, all-controlling machine isn't undone by a weapon, a bomb, or an army. It's undone by a single sentence of truth it was, never designed to process. The most rigid, rational system in the world turns out to be brittle in the one place it never thought to armor itself: reality. The system dies the instant someone forces it to hear something real, and the whole gleaming prison comes apart because a computer couldn't accept that it had been wrong. Number 5. The freed citizens have never seen an old face, and it breaks them open. Watch the final moments as the dazed survivors of the collapsed city stumble out of the shattered dome and into open sunlight for the very first time in their lives. And encounter the old man, sitting quietly outside with his cats, waiting. Remember what these people are: a population engineered to die at 30, raised in a sealed world where no one has ever aged, where a wrinkle or a gray hair is a thing that literally does not exist. They have never, not once, seen a human being older than 30. So they crowd around the old man, hesitant and awestruck, reaching out to touch his lined face, his white beard, his weathered hands, as if he were something holy or impossible. A living creature from a category they didn't know existed. It's the film's quiet, devastating final note, and it lands harder than the explosion that preceded it. The thing that truly liberates humanity isn't the collapse of the city or the escape into the sun, but the simple, overwhelming sight of a face that has been allowed to grow old. Aging, the single thing their entire civilization was built to prevent, the thing they were taught to fear above all else, turns out, in the end, to be the miracle worth weeping over. Number 4. Its Oscar was a special award, and Star Wars made it obsolete almost instantly. Watch Logan's run's effects: the floating bodies of Carousel, the shimmering holograms, the intricate miniature cityscapes, and know they were genuinely state-of-the-art for their moment. Impressive enough to earn the film a Special Achievement Academy Award for visual effects, alongside a Hall of Saturn Awards. For one brief window, this was the most advanced-looking science fiction Hollywood had, but its reign at the summit was almost cruelly short. Less than a year after Logan's run collected its effects honors, Star Wars arrived in May 1977 and detonated the entire genre, resetting overnight what audiences believed was possible on screen. Suddenly, Logan's slow, philosophical, mall-shot future, its wire-flown actors and its disco-lit domes, looked antiquated and quaint next to Star Wars' kinetic dogfights and lived-in galaxy. Number 3, it became a TV series that quietly influenced a generation watch Logan's run and you're watching the seed of a short-lived but surprisingly fondly remembered television show. The film's box office success spawned a 1977-78 CBS TV series that continued Logan and Jessica's journey through the ruined outside world, searching for sanctuary week to week, adding a friendly android companion and turning the movie's premise into an episodic road show. It only lasted a single season before cancellation, a casualty of the very Star Wars-driven appetite for bigger spectacle that had dated its parent film. But for a generation of kids watching sci-fi on television in the late 70s, it became a formative, half-remembered piece of their childhood, the kind of show people still bring up with unexpected warmth decades later. And the core concept proved remarkably durable. A domed city, a mandatory death age, runners and sandmen and life clocks. Hollywood has tried to revive it again and again, with a big-budget feature remake famously stuck in development limbo for literal decades, passing through the hands of star directors and writers without ever quite getting made. Logan's Run became one of those ideas the industry can never fully let go of. Too potent to abandon, too tricky to remake, endlessly circled, but never recaptured. Number 2. The whole film is a warning about worshiping youth. Watch what the domed city actually treasures. Endless youth, endless pleasure, endless frictionless consumption, with anyone who dares to age simply erased from existence in a burst of light. Logan's Run, beneath the ray guns and the miniskirts and the disco sheen, is a genuinely sharp satire of a youth-obsessed culture. And it arrived in the mid-1970s, at a moment when American culture was worshiping young beauty, chasing eternal fitness and cosmetic perfection, and fearing the approach of age more openly than perhaps ever before. The domed city is the ultimate literalized expression of that terror. A society so pathologically afraid of growing old that it has simply legislated aging out of existence by killing everyone before it can happen. And the film's entire arc is built to argue the opposite of what the city believes. That a world without age, without elders, without grandparents, without the accumulated wisdom and continuity and memory that only come from growing old, isn't a paradise at all. It's a gorgeous, brightly lit, smiling death cult dressed up as utopia. Number 1, the flawed, dated classic that asked a question we still can't answer. Step back and Logan's Run holds a strange, enduring, contradictory place in science fiction history. Yes, it's dated in almost every surface way. The unmistakable disco-era fashions, the shopping mall vision of tomorrow, the wire work and miniatures that Star Wars made look quaint within a single year of their Oscar. And yes, it's slow and imperfect and often clumsy, a film far more interested in its ideas than in its action or its pacing. But the idea burning at its core has never once stopped haunting the audiences who find it. What, exactly, would we be willing to sacrifice for a perfect, painless, endlessly youthful life? And would we even notice the moment we traded away our own humanity to get it? A society that swaps old age for eternal pleasure, that murders its own citizens on schedule to preserve a beautiful illusion, and that gets them to cheer while it happens, is a thought experiment that has only grown sharper and more uncomfortable in an age obsessed with youth, wellness, comfort, curated perfection, and control. Those were 16 facts most fans have never heard about Logan's Run. Which one got you? The nude ice sculpture they cut, or the fact there was never any sanctuary? Run down to the comments and let us know. If this earned it, hit like, subscribe, and send it to the friend who still checks their palm on their 30th birthday. Until next time, there is no sanctuary.